Hi, let's talk about Broadway theater, part one. So when I was in New York City last week, I went to see a few shows, one off Broadway and one on Broadway. And I just want to tell you a bit about them because good theater is very, very powerful because it makes you reflect on things that you kind of just take for granted sometimes. And it tells you stories in such a way that you can adjust your perspective in some ways. So the first play I went to see was called the Refuge Plays. And it's basically a story about three generations of a Black family living in the South. And it's interesting because it goes backwards in time. So the first story, there's three separate stories. The first story is kind of present day, and you see a bit of a dysfunctional family. And, I'm getting a little judgy about some of the characters going, what is their problem? Why are they doing this? They shouldn't be acting that way. And then the second story takes you back a generation, and you get more backstory, and you develop more of an understanding about why they are and why they act the way they do. And then the last final story is kind of an origin story of this whole family. And so much more is understood and comes to light. And by the end, one of the characters I had judged most fiercely, I actually have a lot of compassion for it, just because I get the backstory and what they lived through and their response to that and how they did the best that they could in that situation. And the message for me is it's really important to learn the story of people instead of just judge them.